about as close to on time as we ever get.
Yeah, that's it. We're good. We're live, guys. Okay, here we are.
I got to I found my folder,
Uh-huh.
Dinosaur Dictionary.
Oh,
Oh, wait a second. Is that by the famous Don Glut? Glut? I met that guy at a con, and he's something else.
No, the one that we're going to be working on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Dictionary of Dinosaur Puns.
Oh, okay.
that's a.
Are we talking about what you
Right.
asked me with freelance?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That sounds very fun. Wait a moment. You're going to pay me money to do that. Wait a second. Hola, says Fly Fox Pro.
Oh,
Excellent. Excellent. Got somebody.
Because your art was perfect for it.
Excellent. Boy, I tell you, I love drawing me some dinosaurs. That'll require me to research and do a good job.
I don't know about that. Wait until Monday and look at what the material. I've worked on this for over 10 years.
Okay, we're going to have this same sort of meeting together on Monday.
I mentioned I started in college with the first few drawings and puns.
Well, I tell you what, that is the kind of material you want to make sure happens at some point. The stuff that churns around for years and years, and get around to it.
Because when it comes out, you feel like you did something.
Yes, yeah, I say finally.
Mental to you.
Yeah, I've got a little.
That's true. I also, and I'm not trying to plug. It's coming up because this is what I do. But it is a plug.
No, but give us a plug.
Family Rules is a role-playing game. It's not comprehensive. It's just an outline, really.
Say it again. Say it again.
People who like to use their own wits.
Okay. Say it again. What was it?
Kung Fu Family Rules.
Ah, okay.
So it's a rule system, too. There's a pun right there.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Now, how are you doing that? How do you have your camera? Are you just using your phone?
No, I've actually got a little. Scott maybe. I'm just using a camera.
I use my phone.
Okay.
I'm using a camera and headphones and.
Now, is there any way to switch the camera where it's looking at the screen?
Yes, if you'll look your buttons over, that little 3 dots, vertical dots, and a mic on the side. If you'll click, the 3 dots, vertical dots on the side of your own image. If you click on that, it'll say share screen, and you can probably share something with us if you want to.
So, so this way it's easy because I can just pop up tomorrow.
Yeah, if you're on desktop, open up a browser and it'll say that window. Do you want to share that? And that image should show up.
I'm going to be more like a guest that comes in for a short period, shows off, and then gets out before he makes a fool of himself.
All right. Complete. That's the operating word. It's like you got time to make a fool of yourself, but I mean it doesn't take much time. I know that for a fact.
While you guys are drawing, if I'm allowed, I'm going to read a poem.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That I wrote.
Is it like Bukowski? Are you going to beat up women and stuff like that in it, or no? Okay.
No.
I like some Bukowski though, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, if you have a little bit more to live for, you could do better. I like him too. I read his books, and
I love Bukowski.
And unfortunately, related to him. So.
Yes, yeah. I mean, everybody I think can relate a little bit to Bukowski. Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, you have some good stories. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You did show me art, but you haven't gone into your career history. So I'd like to know about that.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm really good, aren't I, Scott? When you get me going on career history.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Go ahead, read. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have.
Is Ellis telling his history, or are you reading, Mario?
Yeah, yeah.
Something. And I just want to point out again, because Scott says I'm an inspiration to him. He's actually being an inspiration to me now.
Oh.
The way he's progressed through his career.
Oh man, yeah. Scott is
that.
A force of nature. I mean, he's got some big stuff. Yeah, we got to talk to him a little bit after we listen to a poem, talk a little bit. He's got some interesting news if he's in a position to share it. I'm not sure if he is or not.
I can share it.
Okay.
Well, go ahead and share it. Can you put your? Are you going to? Maybe I don't have my volume up high enough.
No, you're pretty good, but you kind of learn from this that you kind of.
We're not
Scott,
very loud.
I hear you, Ellis, but Scott's kind of low.
Okay, yeah, we get sound differences, and I tell you what, that's the biggest mark of amateurish stuff is sound levels. I should have some sort of big mixing board in front of me and all that, but I don't have any.
Am I better now,
Mario? Yeah, you're better now, I think.
Oh, am I? I took my headphones off. Maybe that helps.
What do you think, Mario? Is that better?
Say again.
Say again.
Is that better? Am I better now?
A little bit. Do you have a mic?
I was wearing my headphones that have a mic. Hang on. I'm going to go grab my corded headphones from downstairs. They may work better. Hang on.
Okay.
So I have a friend who has a recording studio.
Uh-huh.
And he had one system already with the huge monitor and keyboards, and he has a string of guitars, and he has a bunch of percussion, and he had an electric organ in there.
Uh-huh.
And he got a new system, and he had two big systems in this. It was a barn.
Uh-huh.
A converted barn.
Oh, that sounds like a great little.
He's always so stoned.
Uh-huh.
He never gets it done. And that wasn't any help, I'll tell you.
Well, doesn't that sound like a lot of us that we really get into process? We'll build ourselves a huge studio and never do anything with it. Is that his story?
No, he actually puts out albums.
Oh, right. He does make.
I think there might be a little. I hope he's not watching. He doesn't get that.
Oh, boy.
But because I guess.
Okay.
Hey, Dan's watching us, Scott.
Am I better?
I don't know. Yeah, you sound good to me. What about you, Mario? You're the one who thought Scott needed some improvement. Does he sound better?
Hey, do I sound better, Mario?
Clearer, yeah. It was even a little fuzzy before. Got a little fuzzy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ellis is fuzzy to me, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We've had issues before with sound.
Oh my gosh, it'll drive you crazy because I'm automatically aware or sure that it's everybody else's fault but mine. Sounds good to me, brother. That's Dan.
Okay.
Scott. Oh, I see. Okay.
Say, we've actually got two people showed up and said hi to us. So that's pretty cool about this sort of thing, live streaming.
Yeah.
You never know who might show up.
Yeah. It's fun.
Oh, and of course, some of these things have got 100 people with a chat going by a million miles an hour. You can't even keep up with everybody's checking in with you.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are drawing so fast. Putting it together. I belabor drawings.
Well, now that's a good topic for artists. Yeah. Belaboring. What is the secret?
On one thing, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting very good at arranging songs, because that's what I spent a lot of time doing.
Well, Bowie.
Wait. I was going to suggest, why don't you take this energy and do a comic?
Yeah, done a recent comic, and it takes a lot of energy. Is the reason I don't do more of it. It is one of
the traditional way. Break the mold.
Break the mold, yes. Just do it casually, huh? Whatever I've got at the end of the day, just plug it into the comic.
Quite a story. You know, I would pitch in.
Okay.
You know.
Hey, Dan wants to know what you're working on, Scott.
Oh, this?
Yeah, Scott's kind of working for Dan, so he checks in like that.
So,
by the way, I started chapter 6. Should have the script by next week. Very good.
You are working. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are working. That
oh yeah, they are working.
Well, yeah, Dan and I are.
Good.
I'm working on the Black Cricket. Not right now. Right now, I'm kind of in between scripts. I should be working on the lettering, but I don't want to. It's not. It's. I like working in here when we're talking. I don't like working on the computer.
I hear you. I get it.
It takes a different brain.
Yes. Yeah.
To letter, and while I'm doing this, I don't think I'm as efficient.
Right.
Yeah, he fades off and quits saying stuff and like that, and that's not all that great for podcasting.
So do you want to hear my story about what's been going on about my third job?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mario, I kind of brought you up to speed about I'm working with a company doing AI videos. They're getting ready to launch. I was in a meeting. They had kind of a general group call phone meeting. It wasn't Zoom or anything, just on the phone. And it's like anybody that gets this can join in. Well, it was Monday, and I had to lock up the building. So as soon as everybody left, I plugged my headphones in and jumped in. But I was about 15 minutes late, and so I just listened. And they had sent out a email talking about one of the avenues that we're going to do is going to be this thing called frequency. And the main guy had sent us email, and he explained it in the email. So in the course of this meeting, he says, he asked somebody, "Did you read my email this morning?" And they said, "Well, yeah, I did." And he said, "Okay, give me a pitch for frequency." And they kind of fumbled over it. He said, "No, you're making a fool of yourself. It's obvious you hadn't read the email." And so he kind of went around and asked a bunch of people, "Did you read it?" "Oh yeah." And then none of them could satisfy him with their answer. Well, I had read it, but this was like investors and stuff, so I was on mute, kind of staying low.
Working.
Well, I was driving home. I had it on my speaker on my phone, on my car. And so I got home and I told my wife I need to write an email. And so I wrote this guy an email and I explained frequency. And what it is they've got deals to put screens in public places like elevators, building lobbies, gyms, supermarkets. They've got several things lined up. And frequency is that business or whatever, and it's got 2 channels. Frequency 1 is Muzak with AI video, which is what I'll be working on. Frequency channel 1, or what I've been working on. Frequency channel 2 is a premium channel with AI movies, and so I just and one of them launches December 15th, and the movie channel is going to have a free preview on April 1st of a movie called, what's it called? They Died with Their Boots. No, some kind of, All Hat, No Cattle. I knew it was a Western thing. Mm-hmm. And so I told this guy that. I sent him an email, and I said, I was on the meeting, but I was kind of lurking because I didn't, I knew that there were a lot of important people and people we work with for a while on there. I didn't feel right just jumping up and correcting them. I said, but I think I said, well, because I don't really know my role in the company yet. And I said, but I think what you're... I'm sorry, what?
An opportunity.
Yeah, well...
You have to be ambitious.
Well, and so I said, here's what I think it is. Here's what I think you're looking for. And the guy, and I didn't hear anything back. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, he emailed me and he said, 100% right. He said, that's exactly what I wanted. And I told him, I said, I think it's all in the email you sent between that and what you said in the conversation. He says, exactly what I was looking for. And he said, you made my night. And he goes, you're valuable, or something about I'm a welcome member of the team or something like that. And so then, like the next day, they emailed it to all the people, and what I wrote him, they're going to end up using they used on the website.
Use for the copy.
Yeah, I supplied him with but it was just what that guy wrote. I just kind of restated it and regurgitated it back. But
that's always when you're talking to the boss.
Well,
I'm kidding you. I know I'm kidding you, but I mean it too. Everybody realizes that. It's like, okay, this is your bailiwick, and that's my job, is to realize that, and your ideas on the stuff. Go, Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so and then I was on the call the next night, and we talked. Him and I and a couple other people talked, and I mean, I don't know where the thing is going, but they seem to be interested in me being a part of it moving forward beyond what I've done so far. So, yeah, no,
they just strike me as high-tech billboards. Basically, they're going to give you a little bit of this and just insert ads. Basically, they're saying they're investing in.
That's what business is.
Yeah, it is. You can't get away from that business model. I mean, something.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
printed matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's true too. You could have. Yeah. I mean, a guy
it's always going to be around. I mean, I love paper books. I don't like reading.
Yeah. But when you think about comic books, they weren't selling you a profit on the paper they were selling you, even though paper, if you can find a way to sell paper, you can make a fortune. But they were selling you for those ads in that comic book. Yeah. The little toys on the back and all through it. And that's where they make the
idea. Approach the toy companies.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. That is perfect for what they're doing, because that AI stuff, you can get the glorified version of their toys in 3D form, and you could do some selling there.
What I'd like to do, since Dan is, I would like to get them up where they're doing cartoons, animated kind of, manga stuff, or.
I saw one about some sort of the most hapless robot thing that was all AI, and I think it was Steven Silver was going on about it. It's like, boys and girls, our time is over. Here it is, and he wasn't regretting it. He was just like saying, here it is. This is where we're at. Can you adapt to it?
Is that the robot movie that's out now, Ellis?
There is some sort of robot movie out now, yeah. Some sort of, it's aimed at children. I tried to watch it a little bit, and it was just a little too dumb. And a little bit, it suffers, you can tell it suffers from not having enough clips to edit with. So it's like they'll get these big, glorious master shots, but you aren't telling me a very good story with all these nice master shots.
Well, that's what I've been trying to do with our AI videos. We've been the guys I work with. They're real good at music. They're real good at doing the AI stuff, but it's all flashing lights and morphing stuff. I'm trying to make a story out of some of the stuff that we're doing, and our deal is going to be this Muzak with video, and so I'm like, hey man, I want to do stuff that's got different genres. I want to do almost. I mean, I'm not trying to compare it, but I want to do something that's like a heavy metal magazine, but with music, where it's got an anthology where they all look a little different. They all have a different feel to them.
You want to go that? Go ahead. What are you going to say, Mario?
What media would that be in?
Oh, the AI.
Well, this is we're doing all AI videos.
What I'm noticing is I'm getting a TV. I mean, a good movie is a good movie, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah.
game or interact.
Hmm. Oh, well, interactivity.
I play console games.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I like the third person ones. I favor those. I'm playing The Witcher.
Hmm. Oh, The Witcher. You like The Witcher? I like that
acting.
show.
Great acting. Oh, you saw the show? I didn't see the show.
Yeah. Yeah, with that guy that played Superman.
Yeah.
He was good in it.
What console are you playing it on, Mario?
PlayStation 4.
Oh,
PlayStation
okay.
4. Hey, Dan asked a question earlier. There was a Star Trek mini film that came out this week. I didn't see it, but I assume it was all AI. It was in honor of Generation's 30th anniversary release where they killed Kirk off. Huh. They got Shatner involved and some other Trek actors. The big selling point was how much of it was AI. No, I'm going to have to check that out. Done cheaply,
really?
but looked great. That's the deal.
Give me a link,
What's that?
Give me a link to that if you did.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll put it in the this show's links
The
in
notes
the
at the
comments.
bottom.
Yeah, in the notes. Yeah.
If I
Well, I'll just send it to you. I'll send it to you. What's that?
If somebody wanted to see this, where would they go after it's over?
We'd have to ask Dan. I bet he'll send us a link.
Yeah,
Done
yeah,
cheaply.
Where'd you see it, Dan? It may be on
Yeah,
Paramount
Dan.
Plus or something. Maybe on a pay.
Yeah.
Because I have several million followers.
Oh, really? On your role playing stuff?
Made up people, maybe.
he's pulling your leg, I think.
Okay.
The left leg, to be specific.
Okay, Mario, I want to show you what I got this week. I got this. I don't know if this is something you'd be interested in.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I won't solo you. Go ahead. Proceed.
Okay. I don't know if I took the dust jacket off, but this is a book called what's it called? Original Dungeon. Oh, the Making of Original Dungeons and Dragons, 1970 to 77.
I'm friends with Gygax on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Name dropping.
Yes, but this book.
Actually, I'm having dialogues with Ken St. Andre, who invented tunnel control.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
Talking to
book.
him. He was depressed.
Do I?
No, I hope he's not hearing that. Now I'm depressed.
Oh.
We're all depressed. Get over yourself.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, life is tough.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my phone so I can kind of zoom out a little bit. So basically, this book has all the documents that led up to the original Dungeons and Dragons. It's got kind of an introduction, and it shows.
There you go. Now we can see better.
Okay. But it's got. I flipped too far. It's got change.
You got to be a quick reader like you to go through that stuff. I tell you.
Well, and I'm having trouble. It's a fairly new book, so it's stiff, but it's got chainmail in it, and it's got all this original.
It looks like secret documents that were stolen from some building because they're all obvious scans and stuff like that. The way it's laid out and everything. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's obviously the originals, and they aren't retyping any of that. They're just shooting it.
Well, the system, when the system first came out, nobody could make heads or tails of it.
Yeah.
You know what they we were all improvising.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I guess that's what made it fun, huh?
In high school, by the time Scott was doing it in high school, I think it was a little bit more refined or organized. I don't know.
Yeah. So this has a copy of the very first original draft of the rules before it became the 3-book, that was in the box set.
Yeah, we had those.
Yeah, you gave me a copy of the original 3 books when I was a kid.
How about that? Wow.
Yeah, they're still at my mom's house. I think when I got married, they put all my stuff in the attic, so it's up in the attic somewhere. But I've got copies. I've got reproductions of them,
Yeah.
but it's this stuff.
I'll be doggone. No telling how much that's worth on eBay.
Oh yeah, the original ones. If you got an early copy, they're pretty pricey. But you're right though. When I was a kid, by the time I was in high school and playing, none of us. I had the rules because you'd give me the copy, and I read them constantly. I still do. I still pull those reproductions off because I read them so much. It's it's a wonder I don't have them memorized. But we had played Advanced Dungeons and Dragons when I was in high school. That's what everybody had that. I never had that as a kid, but I picked it up later, in the secondhand market.
That seems so. I never have gotten role playing myself. I never stuck to it in any way. And what got me about it was that it always just seemed like, depending on where you were at and what kitchen you were at playing it. I don't know.
I think it's too social for you to enjoy.
I think it may be. I think that's it.
I think it might be.
It only worked when I had like cronies that were really.
Yeah.
It just happened.
You were on the same wavelength, or something was going on there that made it fun for you.
My last of the old buddies, I believe he's passed down in Houston. Mm-hmm. We went to OU together.
Oh yeah.
And he had a little bit more money than I had. A lot more money now. Now he doesn't have anything. But he was a history major. Mm-hmm. And the whole group, they were all.
So he had that spin on it. He wanted that inserted.
They were all brainiacs. For comedy relief.
Well, that's the deal. Yeah, your D&D game with that group.
I went to the meeting, the first meeting of it said Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Now I cringe when I hear that name. But because, and let me get back up a little bit on that. That's because I went out to California and they were it had evolved into like RuneQuest, Chaosium, that system was much better, and the Fantasy Trip, which turned into GURPS.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they were really easy to play, and they made more sense. RuneQuest is a little more complicated. But it still was like cut half of Dungeons and Dragons randomness out of the picture.
Oh, really?
It was more realistic. And then they added a realistic setting, they have talking ducks, so it's semi.
Realistic.
But it is, the guys who write it are a little bit more literary and knowledgeable of culture and history and anthropology and so on. So they bring that to the table.
By the way, Dan says the film is called Unification. Scott, I will also send this to you via Facebook Messenger. Okay. So he says, here's the link. It's called, I don't see that he sent us the link, but with that in mind, you can type in Roddenberry Archives. The film is called Unification. A little bit of self-searching. I could find it, I bet, right now if I look for it right now. So yeah, we can all find it. It sounds cool. I'm interested in the fact that Shatner deigned to be part of it. That's kind of fun.
I got to tell you, I love that drawing you're doing there with the two guys. It makes me think of Frazetta and the guy, his contemporaries at that time.
Williamson and his pal he used to go around with. What was his name? The guy that drew such great gesture, but didn't have Frazetta's polish on rendering. What was that guy's name? I had a big book of his. I can't think of it. I bet Dan supplies it for me if he heard me say that. What is his name? He was an older guy, and he almost could be said to have mentored Frazetta to the extent that he brought him in kind of in into paperbacks in a big
Was
way.
was it Roy G. Crinkle?
Roy G. Crinkle, thank you very much. That's it.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, Crinkle was great. Yeah, I think of them. I think of, the Frazetta. I'm not sure. Painting with Fire is on Tubi, which is cool. I've been meaning to watch that again, Frazetta, because he's got a couple things where he's bragging about his physical prowess and here and there, which I think is kind of funny because I love a guy that is impressed with himself. And
I think he's like the Picasso of fantasy art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
he's awesome.
Picasso was an egomaniac too.
Yes, I did. Well, there's a certain inescapable thing happens to your old brain when you realize, dang, I'm about 10 times better than everybody I see. Yeah.
Happens to me all the time. I have to get over it.
Yeah. That's what they say to you all the time. Get over yourself.
Get over yourself.
Okay, I'll read this.
Okay.
I think I pasted it on Facebook. It's called The Unknown Laws of Physics. When emotional tides roil deep inside, an understanding hits the limit. That's the unknown laws of physics. The unseen behind your eyes, the inner workings of the mind. In a place where Newton's laws are merely gimmicks, there lies the unknown laws of physics. There are choices that will come until the spirit has freedom to travel to where no living being can visit, beyond the unknown laws of physics, separating coincidence from fact, where logic becomes unstrapped, and the mysteries of life can only mimic the secret unknown laws of physics. Beyond the black wall of our blindness, beyond the material world of violence, scientists study, measure, but they miss it. All those unknown laws of physics. And maybe this is a good time for me to sign out.
That's pretty good. I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it makes it's. I like that kind of stuff. I really like it.
That was great, Mario.
Oh, I dig that. I dig that. Well, have you ever anthologized your little notes like that?
I started putting a book together. I haven't finished it. I have to go back and edit it, and I got interrupted. I was reading a poetry music group at the library near here.
That's cool. I ought to be in some kind of group, I guess. Well, all that stuff is dependent on whether or not, the moment you get in a group, if you feel like you belong for one thing, and if it's a fun time, it's got to be a fun time, And what's the average age of the group that you're in there?
That I did run.
That you were in there, or are in?
The poetry group that I was running.
Oh, you ran it. Okay.
I ran it, yeah. So the age group, there were some young people in it.
Okay.
A couple of high school kids.
Huh.
And then I had some older people, seniors.
Mm-hmm. That's
in fact,
cool.
it split a little bit more like that. There were less people in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's funny. People with time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Dan, I don't know if you guys saw Dan's note. This is kind of true too. Al Cap is the guy that brought Frazetta into the business.
Interesting to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he ghosted for him.
Yep.
And I did want to mention two other artists that I was thinking about. I didn't mention last time because I gush over Kirby, I know.
Oh yeah, that's worth gushing over.
Beasley from England.
Yeah.
How about that? You're a Beasley fan, all right.
He's unbelievable, that guy.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And Mignola.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, who took over the pencils from Mignola? I'm trying to remember his name. And he got
Francesco something or other. Dan, I bet knows
he
it.
did too.
No, it's
I
not.
like him, even though
Hang
his
on.
style's a little bit out there. He knows how to communicate, right?
I'm not sure. I think you got a little tinny there as you were saying that last bit.
Maybe I'm too close. I'll have to take a look at the books again and get his name and bring it back next time.
It's Duncan for Rando.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No,
I almost said it. It's not him. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I think that's who we're talking about. Show the style. Yeah. Show it to us, Scott. I'll solo you. Wait a second. Here we go. Solo.
No, that's not him. I know that's not him. That's not who I'm talking about.
Okay, there was some. Well, he did some spin-offs that different people did.
So this guy took over. Well, actually, did he take over? Maybe he didn't take over. Maybe
well, you know,
some theories.
Corben did some of the best of the.
Before we just waste time in ignorance. I'll look it up and I'll.
Okay.
That important information. Make sure you come back next week.
Next week.
Yes.
Next week. We'll know who collaborates with Mignola and replaces him on his big project.
And one thing that Amazon has is, they used to, I don't even know if they do anymore, but they'll have a chronological list of an artist's work, like a comic book artist.
Yeah.
What's the adult name for comic books again?
Graphic novels.
Graphic novels.
Right, yeah, okay, gotcha.
Okay. So anyway, I'm going to sign out.
Okay.
Again, thank you for having me.
Yes, and we'll talk Monday. What time of day do you think we'll talk? Oh, we'll talk about that on email and synchronize our watches there.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Take it easy.
See you, Mario.
So long.
Yeah, you press the leave studio button if you want to leave.
There it is. That's it.
Yeah, it's at the bottom. There you go. I think he was about to have a string of curses right before he left, before he figured it out. I don't think so.
Possibly.
Hey, yeah, this thing will give you a string of curses.
Yes.
Trying to figure it out. I remember my early ambitions to do the SBC mixing board kind of thing that a guy could do the internet with.
Oh, yeah.
I could be green screening. And I kind of gave that up because, every time I'd try to do it, I'd run into some sort of quandary that wouldn't let me do what I thought I was going to be doing. And so I just haven't been ambitious enough. But listening to him talk about, a friend with a studio and a barn and all that.
Yeah.
You gotta stick with some of this stuff to get good at it. And that's what it takes,
Yeah.
We can talk more about your supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Isn't that amazing to memorize something like that?
Yes.
It's something as long-winded as that. But you're in endeavors there with your guys.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm at all close that I'm just calling it billboards, basically? High-tech billboards?
No, I don't think you are.
Okay.
I think you're way off.
Okay.
Because it's more content. I mean, billboards are all ads. He's gonna sell subscriptions, so it's content,
Okay. MTV, in its own little way, was all ads. You were seeing basically
what was?
MTV, which this guy is super crucial to.
But people didn't tune in for the ads.
No, well, you were there for entertainment. That by virtue of who was entertaining you, it was an advertisement. It was saying.
I don't know. I mean,
okay. I thought we all agreed at this point that MTV was basically a big ad.
Well, I mean, all the televisions sell
Yes.
advertising.
Oh, yeah. It's the only business model. Yeah.
Well, you could do subscription,
Hmm. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Disney Plus
Or
or
like me with all these things I thought I was buying that now have ads on it, like Netflix. We'll show you 2 ads before we start you.
well, that's because they can't get the subscription. I mean,
Yeah.
but all that stuff is starting to make money. Disney made money last quarter for like the first time. Disney Plus, So I mean, that's the thing is that there's I don't know. He seems to think there's a lot of potential that the market is ripe for this. It's supposed to be things are supposed to be happening.
Well, I'm really excited for you because it sounds like since gosh, he knows who you are. He's passed you several comments and stuff like that. He's going to pass you some money at some point, and that's a good deal.
If there's money, I feel like I'll get some. That's always
Mm-hmm.
But he says he's raised $7 million worth of. I don't know what he called it, but it's startup money to get things off the ground.
Guys that want to be in on the ground floor.
Yeah. Yeah, you're buzzing real bad, Ellis. Are you doing something different tonight?
Not truly, not really. And now I wonder about your equipment.
I've switched headphones twice, so.
Yeah, no, never. You can stop switching headphones. Scott, where will they be running these productions? You make more money on ads, though, more than selling no ad tiers. It is entertainment, and it is offered for free with ads. It has a good shot.
I don't know all the particulars, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're a guy that you're working for a guy that probably doesn't quite understand where he's completely going with it himself. He's finding his way, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's done this. I mean, he's.
I don't know.
Rodeo. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of potential. I mean, he's like convinced this is going to, make a lot of money, and he's got a lot of people convinced of it too.
That's all it takes to make money. Convince a whole lot of people to get on board.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it was, being on that phone call and then coming up with the answer when no one else seemed to have the answer was kind of cool. And I think it really. I mean, this guy that like his assistant like emailed everybody and was like, "Hey, this guy knows what's going on. He sees what we're doing." And I'm
that's very exciting for you that you're able to,
yeah, impressive.
Be in with the in crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow they've recognized my genius, Ellis.
Yes. Well, yeah. I've been called a genius by this guy before.
Oh yeah. He thinks I'm something
You're special. Yep. He doesn't think you require AI.
No. Yeah. No. Anyway.
More and more people are switching to Tubi and Pluto, and I certainly love me some Tubi. I'm on Tubi. I was on Tubi last night watching the Spencer for Hire.
Oh gosh.
Have you ever seen those?
Oh yeah, I watched them when I was a kid. It's got Hawk is played by the guy that played Cisco in Deep Space Nine, I think.
That may be the truth. It's got Robert Ulrich, who I think his best role he ever played was Lonesome Dove, and which has got the. I've never had my feelings played with more than that Lonesome Dove, and that was one of the scenes that was just a gut punch. They have to hang one of their best friends.
Oh yeah, how come?
They've got a code. They're rangers. They understand that you hunt down these people that are doing awful things and you hang them when you get them. Well, their best friend, Robert Ulrich, has had enough of a character flaw that he's allowed himself to run with these people that have done some awful things. And so when they catch up with him, there's nothing to do but hang him. Obviously they're outnumbered. Maybe they would have let him go up. They had just been the ones that, the Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones. If they just caught him, they might not have hung him. But they're with a posse, and they have to hang him. And it was a moving moment because Ulrich, Ulrich has to, look at his best friends and say, I understand, boys, it's got to be done. Pretty cool movie. I need to watch that again. Avery Brooks. Wait a moment.
Yeah, Avery Brooks. Yeah, that's Cisco, right?
Cisco.
Right, I think that's the character's name. From Deep Space Nine.
Oh, yeah. I think there was a law that Ulrich had to have a television show every season. Either had to be a leader in a sporting one. I don't know. Maybe that was a contract. But I did not know this about Vegas, which preceded Spencer. That was a Michael Mann show.
I think I knew that.
Yeah, I gotta catch up with those. It's not streaming right now anywhere. I gotta see what those. I bet you the opening credit sequence. Those are always interesting when it's Michael Mann. I gotta check that out. Yeah, cool. Avery Brooks is the name. Hawk. Yeah, I can't recall any TV season when he wasn't on TV. Yeah, he is a solid guy, but I was never on board with him for much of anything, except, like I say, when he made an impression on me in Lonesome Dove. I have never followed one of his shows. I saw Ice Pirates, and he's kind of funny in that.
I don't know about Ice Pirates.
Yeah, it's kind of like low end kind of stuff. It's obviously got its TV origins. It's like, okay, we just stepped out of TV just like
is that a Roger Corman? No, it's Battle Beyond the Stars is what
yeah, Battle Beyond the Stars looks a lot like Ice Pirates. Yeah. No, actually, Battle Beyond the Stars is kind of classy looking. It had a what's his name? The guy that did Terminator, Cameron on that.
Oh yeah, when he was working for Corman.
Mm-hmm.
The Ice Pirates. My moment of confusion at the library, seeing the movie The Ice Storm, thinking of the Ice Pirates, made me check out the Ice Storm. Now I knew it wasn't Ice Pirates when I got it, but it made me look at it. I'm like, well, this looks kind of interesting. Which I don't know if you've ever seen Ang Lee's The Ice Storm.
Ang Lee. He's solid. He's solid.
It's a movie set in the 60s about a suburban neighborhood, and it's got Tobey Maguire in it, and he's stuck in New York City. It's like the holidays, and there's a ice storm coming in. It's just this real dysfunctional family. I think Christina Ricci's in it. Now that I think about it, could be mistaken.
Isn't that weird? What everybody could be said to have some dysfunction and be familiar with it. So it is something that binds all of us, or bonds us all.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that if you've got something just a little freaky in your family in terms of like cohesion and all that, you can empathize with somebody else presenting something about freaky people and having a hard time living with each other and all that kind of stuff, friction and all that. So there is that thing that dysfunction kind of finds that, universality or whatever.
Oh yeah, I would only disagree because we didn't really have that in my family. Well,
I did either until I got much older and I realized we were just a galloping heap of dysfunction. Vegas was great. It was on Get TV a few years back. Sadly, it is not streaming. Yeah.
Get TV.
Hey, Roku streaming Quantum Leap. Yeah, you can get pretty deep into those Quantum Leaps. Yeah, I was going to mention space herpes. That's right. That's the
Space
one of
herpes.
their
What?
Ice Pirates had one of their funnier gags was space herpes get loose, and they are upset about the idea of getting space herpes.
They should be.
Yeah. The ice storm had him reading a Burn FF book in
Yep.
one scene. I thought
Yep.
that was cool.
Wait, was it Byrne or Kirby? Because the movie took. But if it was Byrne, it was anachronistic.
Oh, because it wasn't.
No, yeah,
It wasn't his.
the movie took place in the '60s
Oh, okay, yeah.
during during the Watergate trial, whenever that was, '70s.
Oh, I bet you're right then. It would have been quite.
But I remember reading a Fantastic Four comic because the book talks about it. It's based off a book, pretty famous book, also called The Ice Storm. Have you ever worked on like a digital anything, and when you realize that you've got like a hot spot you burned into the center of your vision from working too long looking at a screen? I've got to treat that iPad like it could be dangerous to my health. Basically, I was hours getting that hot spot out of the middle of my vision. I had that happen to me the other day when I was walking at break time at work. The sun was kind of coming at the corner of my eye, and I was like, man, I go back to work, and I was like, I can't see. I mean, there's like a whole spot I can't see out of my eyes.
Yeah. Well, maybe that since we both have had COVID now, maybe that's just one of the symptoms now that we'll be plagued with for the rest of our lives.
I don't know if there's a vision component to COVID, but who knows? Nobody knows.
We'll say it is for our lawsuit against Fauci.
I was going to say, who are we going to sue? The Chinese?
Yeah.
Fauci would be a good start.
Mm-hmm. Sue all of them. Kill all the brutes. You know what that's from?
No.
Exterminate them. Exterminate the brutes. Remember on MASH, Radar was reading the Avengers during the Korean.
Yep. Which is not also from the Korean Wars in the 50s.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Gary Burghoff, I guess he crossed over from the movie to the TV show.
Yeah. Was he in the movie? Yeah, he was in the movie.
I think so. Unless, was Radar that guy that was in Bud Cort? Was he Radar in the movie? I'm not sure.
I don't know what Bud Cort is.
Bud Cort did Brewster McCloud. If that sounds familiar.
Oh, is Brewster
Robert
about the kid?
Yeah, that wants to fly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's an oddball movie,
Oh,
and it hits a lot of people like that. I thought I was seeing a work of genius myself when I watched it.
Oh my gosh, I saw it was on TCM probably about 6 months ago, and I was reading about it, and I thought this can't be, and I looked, I was like, oh my gosh. Doesn't that have the girl the lady that played Hot Lips Houlihan in the movie?
Hot Lips Houlihan, yes. Sally Kellerman, I think so.
I think that's it.
What are you saying? Dan's got it. He was the only actor in the movie and the show. Yeah. Gary Burghoff, the only carryover. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Yeah, I think Cort's in it in some way or other, but he's not Radar O'Reilly. He had exactly what Altman needed, was that ability to talk over people and stuff like that makes your old soundtrack kind of interesting, trying to keep track of it. So, okay, wait a second, I'm listening to 3 conversations.
That's kind of like an Altman trade, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. And it was one of his, like I say, stylistically, it was kind of It was kind of fun. It was also Howard Hawks had overlapping dialogue too, which is fun to listen to because it is the way people talk. It's like we're talking. If you all of a sudden want to interrupt me, you'll do it right in the middle of what I'm saying, which actually I'm accusing you of doing something I do all the time.
I would not interrupt you.
Yeah. as was John Shuck, who was in Trek 4. Yeah, John Shuck was in both MASH. He was the guy whose suicide was painless. They sing that song for him.
Oh, yeah.
And he was also in Brewster McCloud as the cop, the hero-worshipping cop.
Oh, gosh.
You remember him?
Yeah. I don't remember a lot of Brewster McCloud because I didn't watch the whole thing, but I remember the cop.
Yeah, with his family. They all look at the phone, that real big melodramatic moment. The wife tries to get between him and the phone because it might be something that calls him out to danger. You know, it's just big, broad stuff like that. But I don't know. It could be funny if you let it be funny.
If you say so.
What did you think about the Stacy Keach's part at the first of it, where he's the greedy slumlord that Bud Cort's pushing around, and all of a sudden he pulls that big giant gun on him?
Oh, I don't recall that much of the movie. It was really, I mean, there wasn't anything that stood out as like, oh, this is particularly great.
This is genius.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also the first movie of the girl from Popeye and The Shining. What's her name? Shelley Duvall.
That was Shelley Duvall's first movie?
First movie. Some guy saw her selling flowers or something on the street, and he ran to Altman and said, "You've got to see this girl." And I guess she was all legs and eyes, and
Well, she looks like a cartoon character.
Yes, Altman saw her and then used her in about 5 movies or 6. I don't know how many movies he used her. He used her in McCabe and Mrs. Miller, Popeye. Gosh, how many movies? 3 Women. He used her in quite a few little films. It's kind of like, and of course we'll have Shelley in it. You got part here for her.
I've been watching over the course of several nights The Godfather 2.
Cool. I need to watch all those again. Man, we had such a good night that night. We watched Godfather in our little cinema group.
Yeah, the Godfather movies are on Prime, but they go off in like 10 days. So.
Oh, they are.
Yep.
Okay. Study up on that. All right.
I bought a box set used of all 3 of the movies, and when I went to watch 2, it was scratched and it wouldn't play. But
Renee I couldn't say that for my life. It's French. Can you say that word, Renee?
no.
Okay, you're not even going to try it. Okay.
Nah.
Bud Cort played a character called Private Boone in MASH. Yeah, I forget what happened to him. They have the Godfather films on Pluto now. Pluto overdoes it on the ads, though, from my past experience with them. Maybe they've changed, but wow, they're one of those streamers that'll hit you with 10 ads, and it's like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do that. Every now and then Tubi will hit you with 3, but they keep it under control on Tubi. Let's see. We are at 59 minutes, Scott. We did it. It was good to touch base with
Mario
again.
Yeah.
Good.
No
And I'll talk to him Monday, I guess, about something or other.
About dinosaur puns.
Yeah, that's not what I thought he was going to be interested in doing. I thought he was pulling out some old project that I thought you'd kind of discussed with me that you guys kind of discussed doing. And I was going to be the guy that fired that back up for me.
Nope. You're dinosaur puns. So did you pick up the Goddess of Pigland?
I did, and I didn't even mention that I had. I haven't scratched it yet because I'm reading the book you gave me. That Black Mask anthology.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm right in the middle. And that's, as a matter of fact, the only reason I'm watching Spencer is because Robert B. Parker is the first story in it. And I thought, well, this guy must be special if they're putting him in this anthology. And then I was kind of underwhelmed by what I've seen thus far of his writing. And then I watched that Spencer and was again kind of underwhelmed by it. So it's like, okay, wait a second. I'm not giving Robert B. Parker probably his due, but right now.
Boy, at one point I read a bunch of Spencer books. Well, in fact, Mario recommended them to me.
Well, I guess, yeah, he's got a huge following, but thus far, what I've read, it seemed like so cut and dry. It's like,
well, what have you read? He took
just one little dinky short story where he introduces Hawk. Guys, I am tapping out. Dan says goodbye. Okay, Dan, take it easy, man. Thanks for your contribution.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, okay. I'll give him another chance. The library does have some stuff, but
I think his first few books, it took him a few books to kind of hit his stride, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. Scott, again, I'll get chapter 6 next week.
Okay, that sounds good.
Well,
are you about ready to call it?
Yeah, calling it at an hour. But right now I'm reading a Jim Thompson story in that Black Mask. Oh, it's been too long since I read a good Jim Thompson story. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott, you ready to end it? Ending it now.
Yep, let's end it.
Bye, folks. We're out.